Okay, we're going to start block number 2. Set your drawing up like mine, borderline all the way around, darkest line on your paper, along with the title blocks that are 2 units tall, 13 wide, 13 wide, 13 wide. Your construction lines halfway up this box, and then halfway up the next box to give you a total of a quarter of an inch there in which to letter. Your letters touch the bottom and the top, DMS in the left, block 2 in the middle, first initial dot last name on the right. If you want to try to work ahead, your depth is 1.5 all the way around. Okay, starting point, we're going to stick with over 8, up 8, starting from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. This is another one of those imaginary starting points. That would be the starting point if this bottom section wasn't cut out, okay? But it is, so I have to already go ahead and count if this was where my finger is at, was the starting point, how far would I have to come over to here to where the actual shape starts. And I see that that's 1.5 inches. And I'm ratio 1 to 1, so that's going to be 1.5 squares over from the starting point. So I'm going to go 1.5, which puts me here. From here to here, I'm over 3.5. So 1, 2, 3.5. I can draw that in. Okay, so that line is this line. And then I have to do some math here to figure out what this dimension is. I see over here, this dimension is telling me that that is 1.5. And then if I do some math here and see that I'm 1.5 plus 1 plus 1, so I'm 3.5 tall overall. This cutout takes up 1.5, so that leaves me with 2 inches right here. That dimension is not given on the block because that would be over dimensioning. So I just do the math. 3.5 overall minus 1.5 for this section, so that leaves me with 2 inches. Okay, so here I'm going to come up 1, 2, draw that in. Okay, that puts me, that's this side. Now I need to come back 2. That's an easy one. It says it right there. So I'm going to come back 1, 2. So that line equals this line. And then this dimension is in a little bit of a funny place, but you'll get to where you pick those up better. It's 1.5, says it right here. This line is showing me that it's referring to that. Okay, so that's 1.5. So from here, come up 1.5. Puts me right here. And if I add all these up, 1 plus 1 plus 1.5, it's going to equal 3.5, and that's good because that's what my overall height is so far. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, now I need to find this dimension. If I add these two numbers, 1.5 and 3.5, that shows me that my overall width is 5. Okay, this cutout is 2 inches. If I have to be 5 inches overall, 5 minus 2 leaves me 3 inches. So I know that this section is 3 inches wide. So from here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And I'm good on double checking that. because it's back to my original starting point, which was this invisible starting point if that notch wasn't cut out. So that's good. Okay. Now I need to find this dimension. I can find that right here, 1.5 plus 1. So that leaves me with 2.5 here. So 1, 2.5. So that line I just drew is right here. And then it gives me this 1.5. So I'm going to come 1.5. And then 1, which is exactly what I have left. That's always a good sign when you get to the end there and things are adding up. Then I'm going to erase that invisible starting point because it doesn't really mean anything. Okay? Right above front view goes top view. Top view and front view share a common width, and they must line up. I'm going to just start with the overall depth and width, which is 5 wide, 1.5 deep. Okay, so from here I'm going to come up 8 because that's what I came here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place a dot. That dot that I just put is here. I'm going to go overall width. It's 5. It has to be because it has to be the same width as and line up with the front view. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that line I just drew is from here to here. I need the overall depth, 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. And tie the back of those together. Now, I have to show that feature, and I have to do something that I haven't had to do yet. I'm going to have a hidden line, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to show this feature first because it's the easy one. I need to know how far over that line is from the edge. Okay, I can come down here and do the math, or I can just refer to the front view. That corner has to be in line with that on the front view. So I'm going to look at my graph paper and see where that corner would hit at the top. Throw my ruler on that feature, draw it on the top view. So that line equals this line. Now, a hidden line. We haven't ran into this yet. I don't remember if you did or not on your 6th grade blocks. I have to show, from the top view, I have to show this feature down here. Okay? I'm not going to draw that as a solid line because that would place it on the top, and I don't see it from up here. But if this were a glass cube, okay, think of it like this. If this were a glass cube, where would I see that line from the top view? And what the answer to that is going to be where it's at on the front view. Okay, so if I followed this line up to the top, line my ruler up on it, and I'm going to show a hidden line as a dashed line, and it needs to be noticeable that it is dashed. Okay, that line is telling me that down behind here there's something going on right there. Okay, so when you think of hidden lines, try to picture the block as a glass block, and from the top view, where would you see that line? Okay, it's going to be right there. You can see that it's over 1.5 from the edge, like it is. It says that right there. Or you can just find it on the front view and take it up to the top. Okay, now I'm going to do right side view. If you're looking at the front, that's going to be your right side view. Okay, the right side view is going to be here. Has to be the same height as front view. Has to be the same depth as the top view. Okay, so there I just gave myself my overall dimensions. 3.5 by 1.5. Okay, I can find those on the front. If I add up these three numbers, that's 3.5. I can find the depth there, or I can just use my other two views. 3.5 tall, 1.5 deep. Okay, we're drawing the overall outline of this shape. I'm going to come over 8 more from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That dot equals this point. From there, I got to be the same height as my front view, which was 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5. Same depth as my top view, which was 1.5. This dimension right here and right here. 1.5. And 1.5. Okay, so there's my overall outline. I need to show where this line is. I can do the math and see how high it is from the bottom here, or I can just find it on my front view. It's going to be right there. So I'll line up to that, bring it over with an object line, and I have another hidden line. If this were a glass block and I'm looking at the side of it, we'll do it like this. Where would that line be? It's going to be 1 inch from the bottom. I can see that dimension there. I can also just cheat and find it on my front view and bring it over with a dotted line. That means hidden line. Okay, so that one was a little bit tougher. If you need to watch through the video again, or ask a neighbor for some help, or come over to my desk and ask me for help, I'd be happy to help you. Make sure you understand what those hidden lines are there to show. Double check everything. Clean it up with a pink eraser. You can borrow one from me if you need to. And that is block 2.